Undocking confirmed.
Подтверждаю. Показать декатного режима. Есть ГСО 1-2.
GSO 1-2 confirmed. OVK command issue. RO OVK 1-8.
Yes. Есть индикатор режим.
Indicator mode confirmed. Press confirm Blues 1-1.
Everything looking good in the initial separation of the Soyuz TMA-20.
No FOD visible at the docking interface.
Kondratiev, Coleman, and Nespoli bidding farewell to the International Space Station after 157 days on board.
Selection to A9.
Undocking occurring at 4:35 p.m. Central Time as the International Space Station and Endeavour pass 220 miles over eastern China.
Give it to me, please. Like this.
Yep.
Stand at that table.
Yep, ready.
Careful.
Absolutely.
Stand control is hot. Outside Moscow, Varag.
Moscow, Varag 1. Observing separation. 1 minute, 20 seconds. Have a lap. Copy that, Zima. Activate program 3. Paolo, please issue G5 to activate program 3. In work. G5 has been issued. Program 3 has been activated. Inaudible. Yes, I can confirm.
About 40 seconds away from the first of two separation burns.
2 minutes have elapsed. Separation is stable. I observing the docking assembly. Copy.
Visual дальность 15.
Visual range 1-5, time 2:30.
Секунд до начала выдачи импульсный отвод.
15 seconds to separation burn.
10 секунд.
10 seconds.
Есть работа ДПО? Есть.
DPO is in operation. Back out burn is in progress.
The first of two separation burns underway. Kondratiev at the controls. 5 days after the arrival of the Space Shuttle Endeavour, the Soyuz TMA-20 departs, heading for a landing in south-central Kazakhstan.
5 seconds to shut down.
Есть. Есть показатели работы ДПО.
There's your unprecedented portrait, at least from station cameras, the Space Shuttle Endeavour in the final days of its final mission, and the Soyuz TMA-20 against the limb of the Earth.
Varagi, Moscow, you can turn off the light. Command S18.
СО1.
Copy.
Прогресс. Выполняю W.
Maneuver in progress.
Продолжаем разговор.
Continuing back out.
Здравствуйте. Здравствуй, Игорь.
Inaudible. Hello, Igor.
We should be arriving at the station keeping point about 2 minutes from now, at which point Kondratiev will put the brakes on basically and begin a period of station keeping at a distance of about 180 meters, enabling Paolo Nespoli to unstrap from his seat on the left side of the descent module and open the hatch back up to the habitation module to make his way in with a digital camera and a high-definition camera for the start of imagery acquisition.
ATV is in the line of sight. Copy.
Дальность визуально 115.
Visual range 115.
This view from the external camera on the Soyuz TMA-20. Now 155 meters away from the Rosviet module, continuing a separation rate.
Do you need to see this one?
Second?
The big one. Do you need to see the big one? I know you.
Yes, both.
Okay.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Space Shuttle Endeavour in view on the lower right side of your picture. Again, this is the engineering overlay view that Russian flight controllers use for data as the Soyuz separates from the International Space Station.
Copy.
Once the Soyuz vehicle reaches its station-keeping position, the International Space Station will return to its original undocking attitude. Paolo Nespoli is expected to begin his photography activities and his imagery acquisition with a high-definition camera about 8.5 minutes from now.
Okay, SM as reference. 1 cell and a quarter. At that point, we are going to start braking. Concur.
Standing by for Kondratiev to initiate impulses in his hand controller that will initiate the braking for station keeping.
Continuing separation. Okay.
Какая сейчас дальность примерно?
What is the approximate range? We have slowed down. Range is about 170. Copy.
170 meters separating Soyuz from the International Space Station. Again, this view from the Soyuz camera, an external black and white engineering camera, but this approximates the same view that Paolo Nespoli will be getting when he makes his way into the upper portion of the Soyuz, the habitation module.
180. Start braking. Let's wait a little more. Let's wait until we reach 200. Okay, copy.
.180 meters separating Soyuz from the station, braking underway, station keeping about to begin.
Okay, copy. Range is 180.
Хорошо, мы нормально.
Ready for the roll.
The station will reinitiate its maneuver back into an undocking attitude, and the Soyuz now beginning a roll maneuver. This essentially will place the so-called blister window in the upper portion of the Soyuz and the habitation module through which Paolo Nespoli will be using as his vantage point for digital photography and HD video acquisition. This puts the Soyuz and the station in the proper orientations against one another. The International Space Station then will begin a maneuver to the photography attitude about 11 minutes from now.
Please repeat. Program 3 commanding. Issue G5 one more time. Copy in work. G5 has been issued.
Momentarily, as soon as station keeping is initiated, Nespoli will unstrap from his left seat in the descent module, the crew compartment, and make his way up into the habitation module. The hatch between the habitation module and the descent module will have to be closed once again at the end of this imagery activity, and leak checks will have to be reinitiated both for the hatch and for the crew's suits.
210.
Range 210. Copy. How many cells are to the ground and to ATV? A lot, about 5. Okay, let's move up a little bit. Copy. And also please check pressure in SA and BO. Moscow.
The International Space Station, Endeavour, and the Soyuz TMA-20 flying south of the Aleutian Islands, 220 miles above the Earth, moving from northwest to southeast across the North Pacific.
The overlay is 3. We're going to maintain that number. Copy. Please report pressure in the habitation module. 813 is pressure in SA, 745 in BO. Range is 200. Okay. Dima, let's
Ron, that
reduce
caution
the rate
card on S11
translational
and it lost power.
and lateral. Between vehicle and the ground is stable. Copy. And if it's stable, Paolo can start translating. Copy that. Paolo is go to open KVD. Paolo, please open KVD. We hear heating. Equalization is in progress. Dima, please report pressure in habitation module 1.
The visiting vehicle officer reports that the pressure is now being equalized between the habitation module and the descent module, the precursor to the opening of that hatch by Nespoli, so he can make his way into the upper portion of the Soyuz to begin his imagery acquisition.
Dima, what is the current prop quantity on board? 565. Copy, 565. What about SA BO pressure?
We passed out of range of our tracking and data relay satellite system, transitioning coverage to another satellite. We'll pick up coverage a few minutes from now. Everything continuing to go per the schedule, per the timeline. The Soyuz TMA-20 undocking on time at 4:35 p.m. Central Time as the International Space Station and the attached Endeavour space shuttle flew 220 miles over eastern China.